Two of the most powerful and fearsome groups in modern superhero lore, the Viltrumites from Invincible and the Seven from The Boys, both symbolize power, dominance, and, at times, corruption. But how did they come to be? So the Viltrumites are a warrior race from the planet Viltrum in Robert Kirkman's Invincible universe. Unlike many other extraterrestrial civilizations, they are not peacekeepers or diplomats. Instead, they are a brutal, imperialistic race that believes in the survival of the fittest. Their origins trace back to a single ideology: strength above all. The Viltrumite Empire was founded by a superpowered humanoid species that quickly eradicated any weaknesses within their kind. They underwent a violent purge known as the Great Purge, where weaker Viltrumites were executed to ensure that only the strongest survived. This ruthless philosophy made them nearly unstoppable. With their godlike abilities, enhanced strength, flight, near invulnerability, and extreme longevity, the Viltrumites began their conquest of the universe. They didn't just attack planets outright, they had a far more strategic approach. Rather than annihilate every civilization, they integrated themselves either by force or manipulation to spread their empire. One of the most significant figures in Viltrumite history is Argyle, their former leader who led the empire's aggressive expansion. However, after his assassination, another powerful figure took charge: Thrag, the Grand Regent of the Viltrumites. Thrag epitomized Viltrumite ideology and was one of the strongest warriors in their history. Under his rule, the Viltrumites continued their aggressive expansion, facing opposition from the coalition of planets. Then comes Nolan Grayson, better known as Omni-Man. Unlike most Viltrumites, Nolan had a complex relationship with his mission. Sent to Earth to prepare it for conquest, he eventually developed emotional ties to the planet and his human family, particularly his son, Mark Grayson, also known as Invincible. This conflict between duty and morality created one of the most compelling narratives in the Invincible series. On the other side of the spectrum, in the Boys universe, we have the Seven, a corporate-backed superhero team created by Vought International. Unlike the Viltrumites, who are warriors by nature, the Seven were manufactured to be superheroes, but with a hidden dark truth behind their existence. The Seven are the face of Vought, a multi-billion-dollar corporation that controls superheroes and markets them as commercial icons. But the origins of the Seven go deeper than just business. They were created using Compound V, a secret serum developed to give humans superpowers. However, the process wasn't always successful, leading to horrifying side effects and failures before producing stable, powerful superheroes. Originally, Vought intended to create heroes for military use, but they quickly realized that branding and commercialization were far more profitable. Thus, the Seven became America's premier superhero team, publicly revered but privately corrupt and dangerous. The Seven's roster includes some of the most powerful and morally bankrupt individuals in their world. At the top of the chain is Homelander, the team's leader. Created in a lab and raised in isolation, Homelander embodies both supreme power and deep psychological instability. His godlike abilities include flight, heat vision, super strength, and near invulnerability, making him nearly unstoppable. But his lack of empathy and unchecked power make him the biggest threat to the world. While both the Viltrumites and the Seven dominate their respective universes, they represent two different kinds of power structures. Now let's see, could Homelander beat a Viltrumite? So, Homelander is easily the most powerful soup in the Boys show. But would that power hold up if he was thrown in a different universe, like the Invincible series? Would he be able to win a fight against and kill a Viltrumites? Let's get into it. Homelander is kind of like a watered-down version of Superman. His super strength, X-ray vision, enhanced hearing, blazer vision, and, of course, enhanced durability. He's got the whole kit and caboodle. His durability is the same, if not better than Soldier Boy's. And when Soldier Boy was being experimented on, they had the muzzle down, bros throw, and he was eating the bullets like there were nothing. They were also shanking him and doing in a plethora of other techniques to try to break his skin. Nothing worked. Really. The most damage we've seen Soldier Boy take was a small cut from being blasted by Butcher's laser vision at close range. And Homelander is said to be more durable than Soldier Boy, so he must be pretty durable. But he's not. Homelander was briefly hurt when Maeve stabbed him in the ear with a rod. He's also known for being a big man baby. He's off his gourd for a majority of the show, so that's going to put him at a severe disadvantage to get some Viltrumite. Viltrumites weed out the weak, and only the strongest survive. They're born to fight. The day they pop out their mother's womb is the day they start training. And Homelander has zero training. His fighting technique that we've seen is absolute dog shit. He relies on being the strongest and being able to kill anyone by using his laser vision. And he mainly uses his laser vision because he's a lazy bastard. But when that laser vision doesn't work, what's he gonna do? Not much future me here. I forgot to mention that Homelander was taking damage when Maeve was kicking his ass, and he also sustained a bruise on his cheek after fighting Butcher and Soldier Boy. That was taken into consideration. I just forgot to mention it. Now back to the video. Every Viltrumite is different. For example, Omni-Man would absolutely decimate Homelander with little to no effort. For multiple reasons, he's significantly more durable. He's able to take juicers from characters who are stronger than Homelander. And he also ate $1 billion laser from Cecil that at most made his nose bleed. He's an absolute tank. He's also significantly stronger. We've seen Nolan kill other Viltrumite, sometimes relatively easily. He's just more powerful in every aspect by a mile. Just look at what he did to the Flaxans. There is one big factor at play here. Viltrumite as well as Homelander have super speed, but it's more inconsistent than the stock market. So I'm not even going to take that into consideration. Super speed is rarely consistent, so just take that out of consideration. Homelander beating any of the top Viltrumites that we've seen, like Anissa and Nolan, are completely out of the question. He'd get stomped out. But is it possible for him to beat one of the weaker Viltrumites? If we're just using what the show has shown us, then no Homelander gets dog-walked by everyone. The weakest Viltrumite we've seen were maybe the two that were set to execute Nolan. But even those guys are miles ahead of Homelander. They handled business for a little while against the scariest trio you could possibly face: Nolan, Allen, the Alien, and Battle Beast. We also saw those 3 Viltrumites who came to take Nolan on the Thraxan planet. These 3 would all smoke Homelander. Good fucking Lord, I can't even build a case for this guy, even if, on Earth, he held his own for a little bit. Somehow a fight with the Viltrumite could very easily go into space, and we have no clue how well Homelander would do there, or if he would be able to do anything at all. But there is one Viltrumite that Homelander could have a chance against Season 1 Mark. He was very new to his powers. He was pretty weak in comparison to all the other Viltrumite, and he was getting smacked around in like 90% of his fights. But even then, I think it'd be a tough fight for a Homelander. I'm not a professional scientific power skiller, so I don't really know who exactly was stronger by how much. But Mark, in Season 1, I would say, was probably a little stronger than Homelander. Mark did get his ass whooped constantly, but it was against people that were stronger than him. Those same people would give Homelander the mask at all special. I'm not a comic expert on the Invincible series, so maybe there's a character I'm not familiar with that Homelander would have a chance against. So if there is, then let me know in the comments. I'm actually really curious, but if you guys enjoyed this video, then hit the subscribe, like, and share button. Let me know your thoughts on this, and also let me know in the comments what videos you guys want to see next. But that's all I have for you guys today, so I'll see you in the next one.